LDF to Mission Control, Sandman. I made contact with an Aegis worker. I followed the protocol. I'm now heading to the control room to begin loading procedures. Over.
A throwback to the classic 90s survival horror genre, Daymare 1998 is an attempt to capture the essence of what makes games like Resident Evil great. Developed and published by Invader Studios, Daymare 1998 was previously released on PC in 2019, and now it's coming to the Xbox One and PS4 consoles. So naturally, it's time for a fresh review of the game.
We have a problem of some magnitude here. There's a situation in the building that requires... There's been a terrible mishap. I think we've been exposed to some kind of gas, a corrosive agent that latches onto the llamas, warping people inside.
If you're a Resident Evil fan, the story will feel very familiar. You begin by infiltrating a secret research facility as part of a special security team called H.A.D.E.S, and it's your job to investigate a potential security breach. So, as expected, like most horror games, all hell breaks loose. And now, you find that a small, peaceful town has turned into a deadly outbreak of monsters. As you play through the game, there are several twists in the plot, but there comes a point when the story loses its way and becomes nonsensical and confusing. This is one of the most unfortunate parts of the game because the story started off so extremely strong. Now for the game breaker, the actual gameplay itself. I did really enjoy the classic 90s survival horror exploration, and the developer definitely captured the Resident Evil atmosphere. It also had me fearful of what monstrosities were around every corner, and who doesn't like killing zombies. But Daymare 1998 is far from Resident Evil quality. And I compare it to Resident Evil because it was originally a fan remake project that eventually spawned into what it is today. For instance, Daymare has one of the worst save systems I have ever encountered in a game. Although I explored, I only came across a few save points which made them essentially useless. There was also a storage system in the game that was confusing and quite useless as well. And then comes the combat. The game has an unnecessarily difficult reload system. And also, randomly, a zombie can be extremely overpowered. Even 3 shots with a shotgun wouldn't take them down. I happened upon 2 monstrosities near the end of the game, but was not prepared for the fight in any manner, making it nearly impossible to take them on. I had to start back at a much earlier save point rather than just starting the mission over again to collect the necessary gear I needed. This was extremely annoying and unnecessary. But I completely understand that the developer was going for some nostalgic gameplay. Unfortunately, it just didn't work for a game in this day and age. The graphics were beautiful and a huge improvement from the old 90s horror games we remember from back in the retro days. The lighting and reflections were also done especially well, but the character faces were definitely lacking detail. I was extremely impressed with the background models. But when it came to the voice acting, well, it really came down to an appreciation for that classic 90s acting that many of us became accustomed to. Now for the soundtrack and sound effects, I found nothing special. Developer Invader Studios made a worthy attempt at a Resident Evil throwback, but just missed the mark with a confusing story and a bad combat system. I really don't think a remake without a huge facelift, as we saw with the recent Resident Evil remake from Capcom, can make it in this day and age. I'm scoring this at a 6.7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and if you like our content, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, check out the BG4G Hub website for your latest news, reviews, and everything gaming.